know, this module is applicable to those of you who offer degree programs. It deals with Standard IX for degree programs. So the important thing to note about this standard is that it is in addition to complying with all of the other accreditation standards. So it's just a few further requirements for your degree. And the other important thing to note is that the type of degree that you offer is usually determined by state regulations. COMTA does not set those. And degrees are intended to develop practitioners for a more academic path. So as such, the standards that you will find here include things that would require more rigorous requirements, including general education courses. Some key components to Standard IX is that all degree programs must be measured by credits, either semester or quarter, not clock hours. Now this is for academic purposes, not necessarily Title IV calculation, but academically states require that, and COMTA requires that degrees are measured in credits. To comprise a degree, students may not just take a wide assortment of courses to achieve a total credits, however. There must be certain requirements and categories designated. For example, general education, technical, related applied knowledge. So degrees are not long certificates. They must be held to a higher standard regarding a couple things in particular, which is faculty qualifications and library resources. A note about the two distinctions between occupational and academic degrees. There's often confusion related to the terminology of degree titles, but whether a school's degree is occupational or academic is actually determined by state criteria, your institution criteria. But in general, occupational degrees are intended to be terminal, whereas academic degrees may transfer with more general education courses. Again, this is determined by your state, but that's a general understanding that is usually followed. So after determining which category a school's degree is, you will follow the applicable standard. There are some standards for occupational and academic. And just a note, for those of you that have an AAS or Associates of Applied Science, for our purposes, they will fall under the occupational section because they are intended, again, to be terminal. So faculty requirements for degrees. They are more stringent above and beyond Standard 3, including that technique instructors must now have 3 years practical experience in the field, not just 2. And for those instructors teaching general education, which would be your math and English, they do have to have a baccalaureate degree, and it says with appropriate education in the subject being taught. For programmatic accreditation applicants, we know that often there are a large number of adjunct faculty that may be teaching your general education. And please note that we're not necessarily going to be collecting and verifying every single one of them as they change, but we will do a random audit on site, and you will be submitting information about the overall qualifications for general ed faculty. Library requirements. If you have a degree, you're expected to adhere to higher library requirements, which includes having an on-site library. No off-site agreements are allowed in lieu of an on-site library. And the library must be supervised by qualified staff. And in the case of an academic associate's degree, that should be someone who would be considered a librarian or have an education or background experience in library sciences. There also should be adequate study space available for your students. Again, this is if you have a degree. More information can be found in the following lessons, particularly the added general ed requirements for occupational associate's degree. If you have any questions, please contact the COMTA office. Thank you.